I may get some criticism for this because I know my opinion is not popular on the right or on the left. But what I'm going to say is the truth. When you think about the Holocaust, it was a horrible moment in history. Absolutely. Was it based off of race? Absolutely not. Did Hitler and the German people hate the Jewish people's skin color? Absolutely not. You have to be a fool if you think it was about racism. It was about ideology. Hitler did not like the rise of the Jewish people. He made them out to be the problem and gathered the German people to turn against them. He manipulated the people to conquer another people. What do you think America is doing when it comes to the C virus? When you study history, if you actually study history, racism does not even play a major factor. When you think about the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire battling it all out, it had nothing to do with racism. It was more so, you got my land, I want that land that you're on, and I'm going to take it from you unless you bend the knee and join me, right? So everything is controlled by racism. Racism is the word that they try to use when it's literally a warfare between good and evil, right versus wrong. And that's the honest truth. Honestly, when people say there's no such thing as racism, I agree with them people. When people say you need to get over slavery, I agree with them people. Because it was all about conquering the vulnerable. When the Africans enslaved other African tribes that may have spoke a different language, it wasn't because of racism. It was because of different ideology. And other groups or tribes seeing other tribes as more vulnerable, so they took advantage of them, enslaved them all throughout Africa. When the Muslim Africans in North Africa enslaved Caucasian whites, do you think they gave a damn about the white people's skin color? The Muslims in North Africa was enslaving other blacks. The Muslims in North Africa was enslaving white folks and called and labeled the white folks Christian dogs. So I understand the Nazis made the Jewish people wear a badge so they could easily identify them. But that's normal throughout history, to basically label your slaves with some kind of symbolization or some kind of name so you could easily identify them. When you think about slavery in America, there actually was white slaves in America that was brought over here from Europe. The criminals, vulnerable white people as well, that they shipped over here on boats, and they actually worked on plantations with other black people right here in the States. When you think about slavery in the United States, based off of the number of African descendant people that was actually in the U.S. at the time, the amount of black slaves was a very, very, very small fraction of the black people that was actually here. When you think of the number of white people who were slaves in the United States was a very, very, very small fraction as well. I agree with what Whoopi Goldberg said. It was literally white on white crime. The same way we like to say black on black crime, the Nazis oppressing Jewish people, yes, she was right. That was white people doing things to white people, but that does not justify it. That does not make it right. But do not allow these people to use words like racism to control you. That's all it is. Racism is a word of control. It has no real meaning. It's literally a warfare between good and evil, right versus wrong. And I say that, and I'm a black person, and black people love to cry victim. You don't hear me crying victim because slavery was wrong, but it was not based off of racism. It was strictly business. And vulnerable people got the short end of the stick, regardless of what color your skin was, regardless of what your religion was. There could be a group of people who don't like your religion. They don't agree with your ideology. They see that you're vulnerable, and they see that you're an easy target, so they're going to take advantage of you and get free labor out of you. Or in the Holocaust case, when it comes to Nazi Germany, they figured out a way to manipulate everybody and turn them against the Jewish people, and then use them for concentration camps, use them for scientific medical experiments, and all kinds of stuff. It was completely wrong. Separate the family of the Jewish people, just like they separated the families of black folks here in the United States. You could use different words. Yes, it was purely evil, but it was not racism. So I stand with Whoopi Goldberg, although she is a hardcore liberal on the left. So she said a lot of other things that I completely disagree with that she should have been canceled for, especially the way she was crucifying Trump, basically trying to get Donald Trump to hang on a cross the same way they did Jesus. She's definitely a never Trumper. She hates the Republican Party. She's a complete liberal. But on this one, I defend her. Even though I completely disagree with her political views, I disagree with the whole political views and ideology. I don't agree with Hitler. I don't agree with Nazi Germany. But was it racist when Nazi Germany would kill their own people who went against their ideology? Anybody who wasn't in favor of the so-called Aryan race? If you walk around coughing because you got some kind of sickness, Nazi Germany will throw you in a concentration camp or burn your ass right alive. They was trying to create an Aryan race. A German person could be born with one leg. If you're born dysfunctional, Hitler was taking you out because he was trying to create a superior race. Now, is that racist? If German people would actually kill other German people, that has nothing to do with race. But it is wrong. And it's right versus wrong in this world. And it's good versus evil in this world. Let me tell you one more thing about your ignorant, sensitive ass. People should have the right to be racist if they choose to do so. Why the hell do you care if somebody is racist? You're supposed to be an alpha male, right? You're supposed to be strong. Why you care what somebody else think? And you'll be the first one to say, I don't care what nobody think. Them are the main people that's all sensitive and butthurt about what she said. I don't care. It doesn't affect me if you're racist. I don't care if somebody is a racist. It does nothing for me. I don't benefit from it. I don't profit from it. You should be allowed to be racist if you want to be racist. But y'all want people to love you. You care what's in people's heart. Just don't do anything to physically harm me. Other than that, I don't care if you are a racist. Now, if you're a racist politician, I might not vote for your ass. But other than that, as a regular civilian, be racist if you want to be racist. Just don't do nothing to me. That's why I don't care. People should have their opinions. Stop worrying about if the next person is racist or not. It shouldn't even matter. You shouldn't be so sensitive. Do I necessarily feel bad for Whoopi Goldberg? No. But I do feel bad about the situation because this is a part of cancel culture. So she's going to be suspended for 2 weeks. I'm sure she'll be fired. They are trying to crucify her the same way they crucified Jesus at this point. This is freedom, people. Let's all fight for freedom of speech. She should have the right to say what she said. If you disagree with her, disagree with her. And if you agree with her, agree with her. But should she be canceled? Did she say something that's completely so evil and so hurtful and she needs to be canceled and lose her job over it? And the answer is absolutely not. You should have the right to say what she said. You should have the right to say slavery was not racist. You should have the right to say black people are not being oppressed. You should have the right to say black people, get over it. Get over slavery. You should have the right to say that. If you don't feel that the Holocaust was racist, you should be able to openly say it. And the more we are in favor of canceling people like Whoopi Goldberg, guess what, my friend? That ideology will be reversed and affect you as well. We all need to stand up for the First Amendment. You should be allowed to say what she said. You should be allowed to have an opinion. I hate that we live in a society where you're not allowed to have an opinion. The LGBTQ group is protected. The blacks are protected. The Jewish people, they protect themselves. You can't say nothing bad about no Jewish people, ever. You say black people are the original Jews. Whatever truth it is to that, you're not allowed to say that out loud. I might get demonetized on YouTube right now for simply saying something like that. But anyway, Whoopi Goldberg's being suspended. Likely, in my opinion, they will probably fire her and she won't be allowed to work on a network like that again. Now, hey, I'm not in favor of canceling her because it leads to cancel culture. I'm 110% against cancel culture, period. That's just my view on it.